Reading passage 2, you should spend about 20 minutes on questions 14 to 26, which are based on reading passage 2 below. I contained multitudes. Wendy Moo reviews Ed Young's book about microbes. Microbes, most of them bacteria, have populated this planet since long before animal life developed, and they will outlive us. Invisible unto the naked eye, they are ubiquitous. They inhabit the soil, air, rocks, and water, and are present within every form of life, from seaweed and coral to dogs and humans. And as Young explains in his utterly absorbing and hugely important book, we mess with them at our peril. Every species has its own colony of microbes called a microbiome, and these microbes vary not only between species but also between individuals and within different parts of each individual. What is amazing is that while the number of human cells in the average person is about 30 trillion, the number of microbial ones is higher, about 39 trillion. At best, Young informs us we are only 50% human. Indeed, some scientists even suggest we should think of each species and its microbes as a single unit dubbed a holobiont. In each human, there are microbes that live only in the stomach, the mouth, or the armpit, and by and large they go so peacefully. So bad microbes are just microbes out of context. Microbes that sit contentedly in the human gut, where there are more microbes than there are stars in the galaxy, can become deadly if they find their way into the bloodstream. These communities are constantly changing too. The right hand shares just 1/6 of its microbes with the left hand, and of course, we are surrounded by microbes. Every time we eat, we swallow a million microbes in each gram of food. We are continually swapping microbes with other humans, pets, and the world at large. It is a fascinating topic, and a young British science journalist, is an extraordinarily adept guide, writing with lightness and panic. He has a knack of explaining complex science in terms that are both easy to understand and totally enthralling. Young is on a mission, leading us gently up by the hand. He takes us into the world of microbes, a bizarre alien planet, in a bid to persuade us to love them as much as he does. By the end, we do. For most of human history, we had no idea that microbes existed. The first man to see these ordinarily extraordinarily potent creatures was a Dutch lens maker called Antony van Leeuwenhoek in the 1670s, using microscopes of his own design that could magnify up to 270 times. He examined a drop of water from a nearby lake and found it teeming with tiny creatures he called animalic, animal, animalcules. Animalcules. It wasn't until nearly 200 years later that the research of French biologist Louis Pasteur indicated that some microbes cause disease. It was Pasteur's germ theory that gave bacteria the poor image that endures today. Young's book is in many ways a plea for microbial tolerance, pointing out that while fewer than 100 species of bacteria bring disease, many thousands more play a vital role in maintaining our health. The book also acknowledges that our attitude towards bacteria is not a simple one. We tend to see the dangers posed by bacteria, yet at the same time we are sold yogurts and drinks that supposedly nurture friendly bacteria. In reality, says Young, bacteria should not be viewed as either friends or foes, villains or heroes. Instead, we should realize we have a symbiotic relationship that can be mutually beneficial or mutually destructive. What then do these millions of organisms do? The answer is pretty much everything. New research is now unveiling the ways in which bacteria aid digestion, regulate our immune systems, eliminate toxins, produce vitamins, affect our behavior, and even combat obesity. They actually help us become who we are, says Young. But we are facing a growing problem. Our obsession with hygiene or overuse of antibiotics and other unhealthy low fiber diets are disrupting the bacterial balance and may be responsible for soaring rates of allergies and immune problems such as inflammatory bowel disease (IBD). The most recent research actually turns accepted norms upside down. For example, there are studies indicating that the excessive use of household detergents and antibacterial products actually destroys the microbes that normally keep the more dangerous germs at bay. Other studies show that keeping a dog as a pet gives the children early exposure to a diverse range of bacteria, which may help protect them against allergies later. The readers of Young's book must be prepared for a decidedly unglamorous world. Among the less appealing case studies is one about a fungus that is wiping out entire populations of frogs and that can be halted by a rare microbial bacterium. and other is about squid that carry luminescent bacteria that protect them against predators. However, if you can overcome your distaste for some of the investigations, the reasons for Young's enthusiasm become clear. The microbial world is a place of wonder. Already, in an attempt to stop mosquitoes spreading dengue fever, a disease that infects 400 million people a year, mosquitoes are being loaded with a bacterium to block the disease. In the future, our ability to manipulate microbes means we could construct buildings with useful microbes built into their wall fit to fight off infections. Just imagine a neonatal neonatal hospital neonatal hospital ward coated in a specially mixed cocktail of microbes so that bodies get the best start in life. Questions 14 to 16. Choose the correct letter A, B, C, or D. Write the correct letter in boxes 14 to 16 on your answer sheet. What point does the writer make about microbes in the first paragraph? They will continue to exist for longer than the human race. D. In the second paragraph, the writer is impressed by the fact that the average individual has more microbial cells than a human ones. Option C. What is the writer doing in the fifth paragraph? Explaining how a discovery was made. Option A. Questions 17 to 20. Complete the summary using the list of words H words below. Write the correct letter A to H in boxes 17 to 20 on your answer sheet. We should be more tolerant of microbes. Young's book argues that we should be more tolerant of microbes. Many have a beneficial effect and only a relatively small number lead to illness. Option G. And although it is missing, G. And although it is misleading to think of microbes as friendly. We should also stop thinking of them as the enemy. In fact, we should accept that our relationship with microbes is one based on a partnership. Option B. New research shows that microbes have numerous benefits for humans. Amongst other things, they aid digestion, remove poisons, produce vitamins, and may even help reduce obesity. However, there is a growing problem of poor nutrition. H. Our overuse of antibiotics and our excessive focus on cleanliness. E. Are upsetting the bacterial balance and may be contributing to the huge increase in allergies and immune system problems. Questions 21 to 26. Do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer in a reading passage 2? In boxes 21 to 26 on your answer sheet, write yes if the statement agrees with the claims of the writer, no if the statement contradicts the claims of the writer. Not given if it is impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. It is impossible that using antibacterial products in the home fails to have the desired effect. Yes. It is a good idea to ensure that the children come into contact with as few bacteria as possible. No. Young's book contains more case studies than are necessary. Not given. The case study about bacteria that prevent skin from being attacked may have limited appeal. Yes. Efforts to control dengue fever have been surprisingly successful. Not given. Microbes that reduce the risk of infection have already been put inside the walls of some hospital wards. No.